So I haven't seen where they're actually doing the drops. Like I have not seen a map of the location of the drops, but it is going to be the head of the fire. Like they are trying to box those fires in. They are picking up ocean waters. Super scoopers need a certain amount of like physical space to do their pickups. So, for example, in Alberta or Oregon, where the super scoopers often fly for the fires there, they come back down in and they pick up from lakes because they need enough takeoff room again, right? Like they're coming down so low. It's a very precarious thing to be doing. I mean, it kind of defies physics in a way, but I think it's gotten to the point that the fires have gotten so out of control, they don't have a choice. And they're having to pick up salt water. Like, in order to use those resources, in order to get water on the fire, somebody in the command staff or a group of people, most likely in the command center, were like, we don't really have a choice. We're going to have to drop salt water on it, which, is not going to be their first choice. But that's how desperate this situation is. And yes, that soil is going to be affected by that salt water, but they just don't really have any other options at this point, I don't think. There are pros and cons to dropping water. There are pros and cons to dropping retardant, and there's obviously pros and cons to dropping salt water. Salt water comes, especially ocean water, like we're not talking table salt. That is one thing to really clarify. Salt water from the Pacific Ocean is incredibly salty, and it is going to destroy that soil and the ground, and then things are not going to be able to grow, which is really unfortunate, and that is the major con to using ocean water. But the alternative or the pro is that you're not pumping salt water or ocean water into hydrants, for example, or through fire trucks. And that would ruin that equipment. None of that equipment can take any salt water. It would rust it all out. They cannot pump that through the city. They cannot put that through hoses. No hydrants, no fires, no pumps, nothing like that. So at some point, obviously, a critical decision was made by somebody or some people in command staff. And the people making these decisions, I guarantee you, have a lot of experience, have done the risk analysis, have done the financial, guess on what this is going to do to the ground in the area. And they are making an emergency decision, and it is no good decision. That is something that happens during really critical events sometimes. Life safety is at risk. You're going to have to make really hard decisions. Somebody else brought up the fact that drops from aircraft can kill people and kill animals. That is true. Anytime I've had drops going on fires that I've been working, you get out of the way. Occasionally, you'll see photos online of people who have been painted, which means they've gotten hit with a retardant drop, like they were under it. It's toxic to people. Like, you are not supposed to get painted by a plane. You do not want to be under a retardant drop. Some guys don't move out of the way. That's their own choice. It's not advised. And it's definitely not policy. Their bosses are not happy about that. As far as the water drops and the weight of these drops, yes, it would kill people or animals below it. But you have to understand that when the helicopters and the planes are coming in, it is loud. It is so loud. There's no way these drops happen and you don't hear them. You've got a fire crackling. And sometimes, fires get so hot, they blow things up. Like, there's multiple houses in LA that have exploded. It's just so much air pressure. That fire is so hot. Trees explode sometimes. And then you've got an aircraft coming in, and it sounds exactly like, well, this is really bad, but sometimes, like, when you get the really big planes, like the DC-10s or somebody coming in, and they're coming in for a low drop, it sounds like a plane that's crashing. Like, it's coming down like, and it's really loud over your head. Helicopters, you can hear them and you can feel them. They come down. You've got all that air wash, is what they call it, but it's the air when they slow down, then they come over, or they slow down and come over. It's that rotor wash, right? It's all that air that's coming off of their rotors. Like, it's what you see if you've ever seen in a movie, a helicopter go towards the ground, or you've seen a helicopter or a plane land, and everything out underneath it kind of blows out, or the grass flattens out. You feel that and you hear that. So animals aren't standing under aircraft when they're doing drops. So I know that sounds scary, but that's not really happening.